You're now watching Lena Blue TV.
Today we are here with Richburg of Money Conscience. How are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm all right. I'm doing pretty good. First of all, how did Money Conscience get started?
Basically, by me not getting drafted by the NFL, and I was just tunnel vision, with football. I ain't know no other way to kind of get no money or anything like that. So, just started studying millionaires, figuring out what they did, to get to where they was at. And I read this particular book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That kind of changed the way I think, and I kind of learned how to manifest, and it kind of just went from there.
Yeah. So what really stood out to you from Think and Grow Rich?
It was like this one line in the book. It was like, if you think you sick, you know what I'm saying, you eventually going to be sick.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like with the corona. It's crazy, right? So with the corona, so if somebody think they got corona, they probably gonna start developing symptoms of corona just because they think they got corona.
Right.
So it's basically like a mindset or a mind thing, you know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you got corona, you could possibly get corona. It's just that it might sound crazy, but that's how the mind works, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So things like that start from within. Like if you want to be well, like if you want to be well off, it starts with the mind.
Yeah, the way you think, you gotta change the way you think. So that book changed the way I think, you know what I'm saying? So I took a different approach to life.
How important is your soul or just within versus your flesh or your outside?
Like, it's very important. Like, I encourage people, like, it might be weird, but just go in the bathroom when you brush your teeth or whatever and just look at yourself. And like, you could, like, if you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see your soul. Like, a lot of people don't talk about it because it's kind of weird, but you can see your soul if you look at yourself and like just talk to yourself. Like, what's your goals and what you trying to do? Like, tell yourself, tighten up, whatever you gotta say, to get going. Like, talk to yourself, have a relationship with yourself.
Right. So is this called mirror gazing? Or are those two different things?
I won't even call them. I get straight to the point when I have a conversation with myself, but I do use the mirror to do that. Though it might sound crazy, but I use the mirror. I'd be like, bro, let's go. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird because I could really at the moment feel like I'm talking to my soul. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And to me, it's self-motivation. Like, we may look into somebody else's eyes and tell them like, hey, keep going or keep doing what you're doing, but very rarely or none at all, we don't give ourselves that same encouragement. So, I think that's important.
But you know what got me to that point to even be in this, like, to be conscious of me talking to myself. Like, because most people think, oh, you crazy, you talk to yourself, but nah, you gotta talk to yourself. You gotta motivate yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Who else
it's your vision. Like, it's not nobody else. It's not their responsibility to motivate you. You gotta motivate yourself. You gotta have faith in what you're doing and be consistent in what you're doing. And the universe will do the rest. You know what I mean?
Let's start from the beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from Liberty City, Miami, Florida.
Yes.
Dade County.
What was it like growing up there? Or here?
Miami, like, it's rough. Like, you gotta prove yourself, like, every day. Like, every day you proving yourself to somebody. Like, somebody think you're not tough enough or you're not good enough or, stuff like that. And good enough, I mean by sports, like, cause we real competitive in sports and stuff like that. So you gotta prove yourself, and in the process of you proving yourself, you actually bettering yourself. Like, you don't know it till you get a little older. Yeah. But like, the environment help you. It's good and bad though, cause a lot of people like street fame where we from. It's either you're gonna be an athlete or you're gonna have street fame, and street fame is you doing stuff you shouldn't probably be doing in the streets. You know what I mean? Why
did you choose this over that, like sports over street?
Because I had a lot of examples in front of me, like guys I grew up with, on my street, like they did, what they did, and it resulted in this, and it was like everybody who did this particular thing resulted in this. So it's like, why do that? It don't make no sense because everybody got the same result. Yeah. So I was able to recognize that early, like, There ain't no point in doing bad or doing this or selling drugs or doing that. I might as well stick to football and see where that take me, because everybody who played football became a millionaire. So it's it was kind of just common sense. You know what I mean?
Why don't people recognize that? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, maybe because they see, like, well, in my opinion, maybe because they see the end result, like on TV, having all these things and girls and cars and clothes and stuff like that, but not really recognizing the consequences of it. That's just my opinion, but what would you say?
Well, I would just think I had the ability to recognize, like, even with like rappers and stuff like that, like a lot of kids can't identify that you not that rapper. He just talking. You can't be doing what he said you doing. If you do what he said you doing, it's going to result until you going to jail. So it's like, I was able to recognize, like, oh yeah, it sounds good, I'm vibing, I like the music, but I can't do what he doing. Yeah. Like, cause it's gonna result to this, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm from that, and like a lot of people don't be from that, where you seeing people die every day from what you hear in music. Like might be from the suburbs where it just sounds good, but we actually from that, so we seeing the result. So it's like, nah, I'm gonna do something else. You know what I'm saying?
You've experienced 2 deaths in 1 week.
Yeah, Jai, his name is Jai. He actually Young Miami baby daddy.
Wow.
Yeah, the father of her son, I'd rather say. Yeah. So like he just passed away, like it's senseless stuff. Like he was at a gambling and stuff like that. That's all I'm gonna say, but it's just senseless stuff, man. Or it might just be due to like drug use or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, you're from Miami, but you moved to ATL. What was that move like?
That move was the best thing ever, like, cause I was able to like isolate myself, so I wasn't getting distracted no more by like, because Miami, there's a lot of stuff be going on. There's always something to do. Right. So it was like I ain't had a distraction from my friends, so I was able to lock in on me personally and what I really wanted to do. So that allowed me to do that by having like basically 3 years of just me, my family, and just isolation.
Why ATL out of all places?
Cause my wife from East Atlanta, Boulder Crest. So yeah.
So she.
Oh yeah, shout out to the hemp too, man. Hemp, man.
Who's like, that?
That's it's a housing apartments, but it's like considered like the projects in Atlanta or whatever. That was like the first place I moved to when I went to Atlanta. Yeah. And it's like, it remind me of home. Like it might sound crazy because it's like real hood and ghetto, but I felt that home there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like cool to be there. I had some issues with certain guys, but we resolved it. And it built like a rapport and a respect, you know what I'm saying? So
is it true that Atlanta is the center of black wealth, higher education, political power, and culture?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that. That was the best decision I did. Cause like me being in Atlanta, like they embraced like what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I moved to the east side and like they messing with me heavy on the east side the long way, as they'll say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Atlanta, like, it's black friendly, you know what I mean? Because, here, unfortunately, you got a lot of cultures, and, the Spanish, they kind of dominate that. So if you ain't Hispanic or trilingual, you got no Creole, Spanish, and English. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to compete. So Atlanta is kind of open up, for black people. So what about the cops there? Are they, like, more harsh because it's a black community, or do you have more black cops, or what is that like? Nah, the cops cool. My sister actually used to be an APD officer. She a good cop. They regular people, you know what I'm saying? But you just got like anything, you got the good and the bad, You're a Bahamian. Yeah. So your parents are from the Bahamas? Yeah, my grandparents and my granddad and grandmother. With that, what are some values and practices that stand out to you? We were like family oriented. Like my grandparents had like 13 kids, so it's like we got a big family. Yeah. And like everybody married, everybody still together. So I seen a lot of married black men, like growing up. So that's probably another reason why I'm married right now. People consider it young, but I consider it like just doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's common sense. If you have a kid, you should want your kid to, it's not about you or that woman at this point, it's about that kid having like a a mom and dad, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like that. Because if they don't, it cause other, stuff to happen.
So you had both of your parents in your
No,
life?
I had both, but I seen like, and due to like mass incarceration, now I got an understanding of it now. Like me growing up in Miami in the 90s, everybody daddy was basically selling drugs. So due to mass incarceration, everybody dads got incarcerated, you know what I'm saying? So majority of my friends' dads was locked up. Like the majority of the Miami-Dade County school system, dads was locked up due to the mass incarceration. So it was like, dudes, dad, they didn't see their dads till they turned like 25, 30, you know what I'm saying? So I experienced this, because like a lot of my close friends, they didn't see their dads till they was 25, 30, you know what I'm saying?
So what difference does it make to have the male figure in
I think it'd eliminate all the, I don't even want to call it black on black crime, because I hate people even label it like that.
Yeah.
But
Tell me why though.
Because white people kill white people, they don't call it white on white or Asians or,
I wonder why.
It's like some type of narrative, for them, you know what I mean? Some type of mental, psychological game, I just feel like I want to change the statistic. Like I want to, like show people that, keep your family together, you know what I mean? Because like I was doing some studying and I seen that the majority of the people who funded like the civil rights movement was like the black family as a whole, not like the black dad on child support. You know what I'm saying? It was like the wife and husband working together, so they got enough money to basically, fund Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and what they trying to do.
So this is part of the reason why they try to separate us, because with unity, we're very powerful.
Yeah, they didn't. I feel like the plan was to get the black man out of the family, you know what I'm saying? If you get him out of the family, then it's just down here from there.
Yeah.
Then they start giving the women benefits of getting the black man out of the family. Because like for instance with me, like I never knew it, but my wife first had my son, they was encouraging her to put me on child support. Like I was a student, I was a collegiate football player at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why you put me on child support? Like why they encouraging her to put me on child support just to get like
They were sending her letters or what?
No, she was trying to get like food stamps or some type of health care or something like that.
But she has to put you on child support to get those benefits.
You have to put the male on child support. So I was like, nah, like we'll figure it out, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the system designed to, like all the way around the board, like the systematic, whatever they want to call it, like it's designed for the black male to be out of the way, you know what I'm saying? To have access to the young black man, like for them to do, stupid stuff. They don't got no structure, so they gonna fall into the, the prison system and stuff like that.
And the way that the prison system works,
they get paid for every head in the prison system.
Right.
Yeah. On every head on probation, you got a probation fee. You know what I'm saying? So the private prison get paid even more than the public prison. You know what I'm saying? They could charge. The public prison may get paid like $20 a head for every inmate in there. You know what I'm saying? The private prison, they can charge.
That's a day. Is that a day?
That's a day.
Yeah.
And the private prison could charge whatever they want. So that could be from 50 to 100 for every head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just, it's sad. And it's like, a lot of us ain't paying attention to that type of stuff.
A way that they get the money is they would work the prisoners or the inmates.
Yeah, like the slavery though. That's the modern day slavery that people talk about. That's the clause in the 13th Amendment or something like that. Yeah. That basically what makes, slavery legal, except if you, incarcerated.
Considered a criminal.
Yeah, so it's like with me, I thank God I went to HBCU because that kind of opened my mind. Like it was heavy, like, black history and stuff like that. So if it wasn't for that experience, I probably won't be so tapped into like, what's really going on or the history of, what happened before, what got us to this point, you know what I mean?